Hi everyone. So I'm going to talk to you today about alcohol and the microbiome. Everyone knows that alcohol affects the liver, but did you know that it also affects your microbiome? It does. As alcohol is absorbed across the intestinal wall, it actually does physical damage to the cells. It causes an erosion of the surface of the cells, and you get loss of the little villi, the tips of the cells that are important for increasing absorptive surface area. So they go from nice shag carpeting down to hardwood floors in some places. And as a result, you're not able to absorb nutrients the way that you should be able to. So that can lead to deficiencies of vitamins A, B1, which is thiamine, B2, which is riboflavin, B6, which is pyridoxine, as well as vitamins C, D, E, and K, magnesium, iron, zinc, and selenium, and phosphate as well. Because heavy users of alcohol can get up to half of their calories from alcohol, they're not eating as much food as they should be, and so they're sending less of that stuff down to be absorbed, and then they can't absorb as much of it. And it turns out that alcohol has a direct effect on the bacteria in the intestine too. So alcohol is toxic to good bacteria. It kills them off, and it leads to lower production of the good products that they normally make, and those are called short-chain fatty acids. So short-chain fatty acids are the currency of the microbiome. They actually are a primary source of food for the bacteria that line the colon. And they also soothe inflammation. They cross the blood-brain barrier to get up into the brain, and they're thought to maybe help to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. They also regulate insulin and cholesterol production. Short-chain fatty acids regulate your appetite, so they help in weight maintenance and all kinds of things. So when you do things that hurt the microbiome, you get a loss of the good bacteria, and the bad bacteria outweigh the good bacteria. And we call that imbalance dysbiosis. And when you get dysbiosis, you are at increased risk for things like diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease like heart attack and stroke, autism, inflammatory bowel disease, and liver cirrhosis. So when you drink alcohol, you stress and you ultimately kill off the good bacteria, and you encourage the growth of bad bacteria. You get less short-chain fatty acid production, and you also get a loss of the integrity of the gut mucosa. So the little cells that line the intestinal wall are normally sitting shoulder to shoulder and acting as a nice, bacteria-proof barrier. And when you don't have as much short-chain fatty acid production, there end up being gaps in between those cells, and so bad bacteria and their products can get between and behind the cells that line the intestine and get into the tissues there, and that of course causes inflammation. So how do we combat that? Well, the easy answer of course is to stop or to moderate alcohol, but if you find that difficult to do, the other thing that you can do is feed the good bacteria with lots of fiber and lots of plants. And when I say plants, I don't necessarily mean broccoli. Peanut butter is also a plant, and so is dark chocolate, and so is coffee, so are chia seeds. And in fact, I want to point out that research shows that drinking 4 cups of coffee a day reduces your risk of esophageal, liver, and pancreatic cancer, which are all cancers that are associated with alcohol consumption, by the way. It's probably no accident. So this isn't really hard to do. What you want to do is you want to get 5 plants in each meal that you eat, which sounds really daunting, I know, but if you just put a couple tablespoons of salsa in with your scrambled eggs, and then you have coffee or tea or juice, you've got 5 plants easily. If you have granola on your yogurt, granola usually has oats and nuts and maybe coconut, and then when you add some strawberries on there and then you have your coffee, 5 plants. It's really not that hard. You just have to be thinking that you need to do that. You can also take a probiotic supplement so that you have more good guys in your intestine working on the fiber and the food, the plants that you're sending down there to make more short-chain fatty acids. So there are ways to work around it. So in an ideal world, you would moderate or stop alcohol. I would love it if you did that. Your cells themselves would be happier and your microbiome would be happier and healthier. But short of that, my message to you, as always, is eat lots of plants to support the good guys. And then, of course, protect them by moderating or eliminating alcohol.